Hello, I'm Benson and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to show you a modification which I've done to my Oculus Quest. Now this is the Oculus Quest 1. The 2 just came out recently and I haven't pre-ordered or buy that yet. I'm going to wait until everyone have it well, try and test it. I use this a lot and I have to say I lose a lot of weight because I do a lot of cardio with this. Now Beat Saber and Until You Fall are the 2 games that I play the most. I actually spent 2 hours playing Until You Fall last night. That burns about 500 calories to 1,000, depends on how hard that you're slashing around with. These are the 2 controllers that you control the in-game, and they come in battery powered, so you need to have a AA batteries. For people who play this a lot knows that it is such a hassle to change batteries. For example, I have a Kiwi case on it to protect it against knock and dent. You might have just the normal controller without anything naked, but I have this on all the time. It gives me a better grip and also it stops the battery door from opening and stop mid-game. Now I have upgraded my controller into using one of these batteries. Now these are rechargeable batteries, but they have a charging port on the side of the battery. It's very important to choose this particular one if you like my modification, and I'll tell you the reason why in a minute. So it comes with one of these little connector. Essentially what it does is it changes the battery into a magnetic charging capability. So that magnetic head I just put in there, now if you want to charge the battery, all you need to do is put the cable near it, click on, and that is charging the battery right now. Now the reason why we choose this battery is that when it goes into your case, if you cut a hole in the case itself and the actual protector, you can allow access with the magnetic cable through the hole. Like that. It just clicks in and now it's actually charging the battery while it is in the controller. It saves you the hassle of taking the silicone case off your controller or whatever case that you have. It also saves you the hassle of having to take a battery out, put a new one in. If you use it a lot and you have to change it every 2 days, it all adds up. It's just convenient. I don't understand why they don't just bring out this kind of a rechargeable capability straight out of the box. The only aftermarket one that I saw cost about £200. And it comes with a stand where you just rest them in and it charges. But with my modification, all you do is drill a hole, buy a cable and the connector and the special battery with the charging port at the right place. And all you need to do is every night when you finish, just click it in and it charges. The same cable can be used for charging your Oculus headset, and that is what I've done here. Yes, it's convenient, but also it protects the USB port. Now, if you keep plugging in and out, in and out, in and out, eventually that will wears out the USB port. And I have that experience with a lot of my other USB devices. So the same cable, if you want to charge your Oculus headset, all you need to do is make sure that they line up and they click. And that's it. So at night when I finish with my headset, I have a cable which I plug in here. I have a cable which can go into the controller, and in the morning and everything is charged. This is a power bank at the back of my headset. I have the same connector to the power bank. I have the same connector to my rechargeable fan battery here. So basically the same cable or multiple cable, they come in different versions as well. This one lights up like a neon light. So the same cable, you can use it for charging everything on the headset. Depends on what needs to be charged. So back to the controller. So the controller is the hardest part because everything else you just plug it into the USB socket. Now this kind of magnetic thing, it comes in USB-C for the Oculus, or a micro USB slot for whatever device or batteries that you are using. Now to cut a hole in the case, obviously it's made of plastic. All you need to do is use a drill and a drill bit. And I'm going to stop talking, focus on the DIY part of this video, and you can see what do I do. Already done one, so this is the second one which I'm going to do. And the good thing about drilling a hole where the battery is charging, the charging port is, when you're actually using the controller, the hole is against the palm of your hand, so it's not on the pressure point of any kind, so you won't even feel it. Anyway, so let's get on with the actual DIY. So here's my controller, and the special type of battery you need to buy is with the charging port near the positive terminal of your battery. There are some the port is in the front and that doesn't work. And I also got another type of battery, which is the lithium battery. Actually, it's better than this one, but that particular one doesn't provide enough current for the haptic control motor inside. So if you do buy the black battery, I'm going to show you on screen, it will not work. So the controller will just stop working, or you will have no vibration on your controller. So battery goes in there. Okay, and now you need to gauge where you're going to drill the hole on your controller. You can do it by eye or you can measure it, but because it says curve in place, so it's quite difficult to judge where to actually drill. As long as the hole is slightly bigger than the cable and it can go in the right place, then it's okay. What I do is I kind of slightly line them up, and then I mark on the case where the pot is around there. So when it covers, as long as the cable have access to that mark, then we're in business. If you have a silicon case like me, I would do is I cut the case first. Case, yeah, I will cut the cover first before I cut the actual plastic. The silicon is very easy to cut, but it's very hard to cut it neat. If you want a perfect circle, you might want to buy a hole puncher, which is specific for punching a hole big enough for your cables. So now we have a hole on the silicon case. Now we're going to drill through with a drill. Okay, on second thought, I'm not going to drill with everything on. I'm just going to drill the case. It's just crazy. Hard to show you guys while doing DIY. So if it is the wrong angle, I do apologize. Now, if you drill a hole and it's not on the right place, it's okay, don't panic. Just make the hole slightly bigger and it will be fine. Yep, I can see through the hole into where the actual connector is, so I know I'm at the right place. Actually, if you drill on the side, if you drill it here, it's okay because you got movement on the battery anyway, so you can slide to the side and you can slide toward the front. So it will be okay. Now I'm going to change into one of these stepper drill thing which I got. It's the first time I use this kind of drill bits. Let's get an old piece of block of wood, put it underneath, give some strength. Let's go. Making a bit of a mess, so clean up the hole a little bit with all the excess plastic inside. Now the cable can go through, so let's test it out. Now this is a test of how accurate of your hole position is. If you like it neat, you have a very small hole, then you have to make sure that you kind of measure it really precise, or else it wouldn't work. And the other thing is there is a few type of this cable on the market. I'm going to put the link in the description. I go for the one with a bit of a swivel top. It makes a big difference because the magnet is actually quite strong in terms of like, you know, once it's in position, if you try to tug on it, it can actually take the weight of, you know, your controller. But what it is not very good at is at the angle. So for example, if you have this type of cable which is rigid on the ends, when you plug it in, you know, it's very strong like this, pulling upwards, but it's very weak when you pull sideways. So, you know, if it lose connection, it's not going to charge. It will still hang on, but it's not going to charge. But with a magnetic swivel top, so if you have for example, if your wire is at angle dangling off the table, what you do is do this, and then it will stay on even though your cable is pulling downwards, because now the force is kind of like an elbow shape. So I do highly recommend a cable with that. It's not that much expensive. Anyway, if you find it like too expensive, then look elsewhere because they are not supposed to be expensive at all. Okay, so I want it slightly bigger because I want it very easy to actually plug in and out. So, and I don't mind the hole slightly bigger anyway. I think the battery on my drill is dying. You can use sandpaper to, like, you know, get rid of all the ridges, but for me, like I say, it's going to be going under the case, so I don't really care. One more try. See if it works. Yep, that works perfect. It's not really in the center of the hole, but it's fine. How about this one? Yep, perfect. And that's it. And that's it. That's your modification done. If you forget to charge up your battery, all it means is you take out the case, take this one out and put a normal battery in. So this is not a modification where you are restricted to using that particular type of battery anymore. You can change it to your normal battery, so it's reversible. The only thing is, obviously, cosmetically, it doesn't look very nice with a big massive hole on your controller. Cost wise, I think was about 20 quid, I think, maybe, with the battery and the cables. And depends on how many connectors you want. If you don't need that many connectors, then even cheaper. So this one here I done first, so you can see a bit rough around the edges. I'm not really good at neat. Second one with a stepper drill, a lot neater on the round. If you do have like a round cutter, I would suggest use that on the silicon, so you got the perfect finish. Now, like I say, you might not want to cut your controller, but for my sake, I do like the convenience. If you put your controller on your hand, oh, wrong side. So if you put a controller on your hand, like I say, the hole is literally against the palm of your hand. So you're not going to feel any different on both sides. There you go, perfect. Now the battery that I'm using and the battery that I would recommend is from Unicom. I would like to say any type of battery with a charging port near the positive terminal will work, but don't get the black one. I'm going to put it on the screen. Do not get that type of battery because it will not power up your motor. Thank you very much for watching my video, and if you like my content and find it useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel to help me grow, and I see you next time. Bye bye.